Hey, what's up ladies and gents? I'm going to show you how to beat legend difficulty in the easiest possible fashion in eFootball 2024. This formation and tactic with the play styles and carefully chosen individual instructions is a complete cheat code when it comes to beating the CPU. I've tried various formations such as the typical meta, my De Zerbi formation and a bunch of others, but nothing comes or even comes close to defeating all CPU formations quite like this one, racking up 8 goals in my first match using it, and I cleared all events in double time with successive wins. I did draw one game, the last game against Leicester, but honestly if you saw the match, it was goal line block after goal line block. I've always struggled with the J-League event, and no matter how good my players were in comparison to the other team, but with this formation and tactic and play styles, I'm going to show you how it made it so much easier. I'm also going to explain how to get the most out of this formation, as well as the pros and cons. I just wish I came across this formation and tactic sooner. Okay, so here is the formation. It is a 3-4-3, pretty standard in the way it looks. There's a few things and factors about this formation that you need to know. So the front line has to be fairly quick because you're going to do a lot of pressing, as you saw perhaps in the initial videos where we were doing a lot of counter pressing, catching the AI high up the pitch, winning the ball and then crossing it to score. That is going to be a very common factor, especially if you have a front line as fast as this one. Now when it comes to your wide players just behind those, they need to be good dribblers, probably your best dribblers in the game. When it comes to the midfield, you want a box-to-box player in the likes of Barella, players that can do both the defensive work and offensive work. And then this is really key as well, having an anchor man in defense midfield. When it comes to your defenders, you want these three to be build-ups play style, because if you've got Destroyer in there, if you use secondary player press, he's going to rush out. Whereas if they're all set to build up, when you use secondary player press, it's always going to be one of these players. This is the formation and tactic that I would use. Now what you want to do is go to individual instructions and make sure attacking is set to your wide players. So Garnacho is one of them and Chiesa is the other. So both those two players there in those wide positions, make sure they're set to attacking. That's very important because that just means they're going to help support the front line even quicker. They're going to spring forward even quicker and the counter press is going to be more aggressive. So definitely recommend this formation and tactic, and this is why it is so easy to beat legend difficulty. And now I'm going to talk to you about the pros and cons about this formation and how to get the most out of it and how to use the play styles to your advantage. So your wide players are going to be very key in this formation, and as you can see here, Garnacho, my left sided player, picks up the ball, cuts inside. That's why I said you gotta have good dribblers. Then it's about working from left to right usually, or right to left, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. Garnacho then picking up the ball, play it to Kvaratskhelia, and he ends up scoring. Now you may be wondering why I use individual instruction attacking on my wide players. Now just look at Garnacho here, who's highlighted. Just watch how fast he breaks forward, faster than any other player. He breaks into space, and that makes this goal so easy to come about. All he's got to do then is just cross it to Mbappe for a tap in. When I talk about passing it across this pitch sideways, so going from left to right, right to left, it doesn't have to be all the way across the pitch. You're going to see here, I go as far as the centre circle to the right before moving it back to the left for Garnacho. A little bit of step overs and then he just buries it into the bottom corner with this stunning finish. That made it 6-0, and then it wasn't long before I made it 7-0. But just watch the passage of play. As soon as there's a turnover, just look how fast that individual instruction is for the attacking role. Again, with Garnacho breaking forward, unmarked, making it so easy to score. But it's not just about him getting forward. It's about him getting forward in those wide areas, both sides, Chiesa and Garnacho, to support your left wing forward and right wing forward players. As you're seeing here, he was the option out for Kvaratskhelia to actually play the ball to him. And then he gets a little bit lucky there to cross it from Messi to head in. It's worth looking at this formation as well from a defensive point of view. Just look at all those white shirts. Look how congested it is. That makes it very easy for you to win the ball back. You're going to be able to spring your offense very quickly. That's one thing I didn't touch on. The long ball counter play style is very important for making this formation work. And there's nothing really special about these goals. It's very simple passing and through balls that I'm using to create these chances. There's nothing really remarkable about it. It's just the formation makes it easy for these goals to come about because the players are in the right positions going forward. I only included 2 clips where I didn't score. This one here and the next against Leicester, in the only game I dropped points with a draw. However, this game was so one-sided. There are at least 3 goal line blocks or clearances, just like the one you're going to see here. I had 10 shots on goal. Vardy came off the bench in the 94th minute to equalise with their only shot of the game. Obviously, with long ball counter and the attacking instructions on their wide players, one of the most common and prolific ways you're going to score is through counter attacks, quick counters like you're seeing here. And when it comes to creating the goals, this is probably one of the most familiar methods you're going to see with this formation. Get to the byline with your winger, drill it across to one of your strikers or your opposite wide player to cut in and score. One of the things I teach in my dribbling tutorial, and you're going to see in my future attacking tutorial, is all about dribbling diagonally across the pitch. It's very hard to stop and allows you to wait until your striker or wide player makes a move to receive the ball. Then it's all about getting that final ball just right. I've also included some of the goals that AI have scored against me, just so you get an idea of the type of goals that you may end up conceding. I mean, this was just a great through ball and finish from the AI. There's not a lot I could have done about that. My defender was too far away from him, even though he's got really high defensive awareness stats. It was just one of those things. It was just a great ball. But what can you do to make him pay? Well, you can just go up the other end and score. And one thing you can't do is get overconfident and play sloppy passes at the back. Otherwise, Legend AI will punish you. Now you're going to see the importance of the box-to-box midfielder. He's just laid off pass off here, and when he receives the ball, he's going to receive it in a little pocket of space you're seeing here. So he's got time to look up and think. This time he does a few quick steps to dribble around the defence and leaving my player wide open to score one of the easiest goals you'll ever see. One recommendation of mine would be to cross within the penalty box, but blast it across using the stunning lofted low cross, as I've had a lot of success using it with this formation and tactic. My main concern with this formation and tactic from a defensive point of view is the wide area. If your opponent is also overloading the flanks as you're seeing here, you can become exposed, but surprisingly enough it didn't happen very often, but it's just worth noting when defending. I love this clip. Just look at the high press from my forwards. The keeper decides to chip the ball into his midfield, but I'm able to win the ball, and then the defender clears long, and again I'm able to win the ball. So whether they go short, medium or long, positionally this team is so strong they'll have a chance to win the ball no matter where they clear the ball. If you love utilising skills like I do, then this is a great formation. Step overs, double touches, anything in that wide area is going to help create chances for your strikers to head in. As you can see from this view, there's always plenty of options available on the ball, and that just allows you to have a lot of fun with this formation and tactic. I've tried it online and had some good success, but not sure my opponents were the best, so it's really hard to judge from an online point of view. But against Legend CPU, which is what this was designed for, this is going to make your life so much easier, clearing events in double time and remain undefeated like me, hopefully. I want you guys to try it. Make sure you get the playstyles just right, as I explained, and the positions and types of players required, as well as those individual instructions. I honestly think you're going to have a blast with this, and whilst I love the De Zerbi formation as it keeps me on my toes, only having those 2 defenders back, this is by far the most reliable way of winning game after game against Legend CPU. Anyway, that is pretty much it for me, ladies and gents. Thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. Until then, take care of yourselves, stay safe, I'll see you soon. Bye bye.